just please have a seat. Remember, there's no eating or drinking in the auditorium besides water. And we thank you guys for coming out. We're just going to start off with a little African-American culture. Also, I know you don't see Bob here. There's a little traffic, so we didn't want to delay this any longer. So we're going to start, and when Bob comes, he'll jump right in. This is our other parade announcer, Olivia Sanders.
Good morning, everyone.
So we'll be collabing and making this go smoothly until Bob arrives, okay? So everybody just get set, get ready, because, you know, it's going to be a little bit of talking, but it's going to be a little bit of entertainment. What kind of press conference would this be, okay? All right, so let's get started.
What is the Schomburg Center? To me, it is home. The place where we come to see who we really are, not just somebody else's reflection of who we are.
The Schomburg Center is a place of culture, it's a place of history, it's a place of knowledge.
The Schomburg Center, to me, is a repository of all of the things that has documented our sense of worth as a people.
For me, that means that it is a place of immense power.
The Schomburg Center is a public research library and a cultural institution.
For the study of the Pan-African world.
It is perhaps the best in the world.
My Schomburg Center is Arturo Alfonso Schomburg.
Arturo Schomburg said, Black history and culture and intellect exists at a time when most people didn't believe that. He collected those evidences, and that became the beginning of the collection.
And it has expanded and has grown to where it is now a world-class institution.
It holds over 10 million items.
There's no parallel anywhere that brings to light what we as people of color have done, what we continue to do.
Black culture is all culture. The universals that animate everyone's life happen here for all people.
The Schomburg, for me, is one of the center pillars of Harlem. When I started the journey of finding out about Red Rooster and Harlem, the very first place I went to was the Schomburg.
Researchers from around the world come and use what we have here.
I could not have written just about any of the books that I've written without the Schomburg Center's archives, resources.
The Schomburg Center is much more than a library. We encourage lifelong learning and exploration.
The Junior Scholars Program is a Saturday program with students from 5th grade to senior year in high school to help them learn about Black history and culture.
Learning about my history is important because it teaches me who I am.
The Schomburg Junior Scholars Program is going to do nothing but uplift them.
So many talented and brilliant people have walked the corridors of this amazing institution over the years. From Octavia Butler to Toni Morrison and James Baldwin, Ella Fitzgerald, Alvin Ailey, and Harry Belafonte, who graced the stage in this room of the American Negro Theater.
This place evokes great memories. It was a gift to us in our community to really try to find that space to reflect expressions of Black experience. I just knew that the environment and what I saw these young African Americans doing was a place I needed to be.
What is my Schomburg Center? I'm standing here at the Cosmogram, which underneath holds the ashes of the poet Langston Hughes. On the evening when this Cosmogram was dedicated, people began to empty out of the auditorium. A jazz trio struck up, and to my amazement, Amira Baraka went over and asked Maya Angelou for a dance. And they started to dance on top of the Cosmogram, on top of the ashes of Langston Hughes, and I felt what a fitting way to kiss the memory of Langston.
The Schomburg Center is a research institute and a library, but it's so much more than that.
There's something going on every day.
So many amazing people come here to talk about their creative craft, to share what inspires them. The Schomburg Center's collections help to tell stories even beyond our walls.
The Schomburg Center is here in this exhibition at MoMA, One-Way Ticket, Jacob Lawrence's Migration Series. We depend on the resources of the Schomburg to enable us to tell this story. Thinking about the implications of the past on the present is absolutely crucial for understanding the next steps, understanding what we have to do to go forward.
We today have the responsibility of making sure that new artists and activists, new scholars and poets know that this place continues to be a resource and a source of inspiration for the work that we must continue to do.
The Schomburg Center is knowledge.
The Schomburg Center, to me, is education.
The Schomburg Center is home, it is family, it is foundational.
Schomburg Center is inspiration.
The Schomburg is with me in everything that I do.
Community, inside and out.
The Schomburg Center is us.
The Schomburg Center is you, and we invite each and every one of you to find your Schomburg Center.
Thank you so much to the Uptown Dance Academy for that wonderful dance. And thank you also to the Schomburg Center. First, we will recognize our honorees, marshals. We have Billy Mitchell and Musa Jackson here today. Thank you for being here. We also have some honorary guests, Nicoa Evans, and we have State Senator Cordell Clare in the audience. We also want to recognize our loyal supporters who, without their support, we could not make this parade happen every year. We have Aisha Sekou, sorry. Adrian Felton. Special culture panel guest, Lou Sierra. We have Vi Higgison, Mama Rashida Ali, Sec of Harlem Honeys and Bears Senior Swim Team. We just want to thank you so much for being here. We also want to recognize our performers seated over to the right. These are our performers that will be performing for our Get Involved Literacy, Health, and Celebration of Culture Day, which is happening the day before the parade at the Plaza of State Office Building, the Adam Clayton Bowell State Office Building. We all know where that is. We will be there at 11 a.m.
Yep, 11 to 6.
11 to 6 on Saturday, September 16th. Okay. Next, we're going to have a word from our parade chairman, Mr. Yusuf Hassan.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. I'm always excited when I see the children. People ask me, what makes you so excited about the parade? Two things that really catches me and make me feel really, really good about the African American Day Parade is to see the children who have been in these apartment buildings and in this community trying to stay out of trouble. Their sisters and their cousins and nephews and trying to teach them how to do these nice, wonderful dance steps. And they have nowhere to really showcase what they've learned. This parade gives them that opportunity to be on the biggest stage in New York City. That makes me happy. And also to see our seniors sitting under a tent, watching all the fruit of their labor go past. The doctors, the lawyers, the judges, the police department, the steppers, the sororities, they just sitting, those are my grandchildren. Those are my children. That gives me great pleasure to see that. So we are honored here to be for our 54th Annual African American Day Parade. And I want to thank our Board of Directors, advisory members, and those who volunteer their services every year to make this parade successful. This year we are honoring our Chairman Emeritus, Mr. Abe Snyder. You know, he passed away in Black History Month. And, you know, he's just been a great leader, and he taught me everything I need to know about how to perform this parade right here in Harlem. He said, give me Melvin and Hassan, and this parade will go on. And we are honored to continue this parade in his name today. And also Olalume, our last founding member, passed away about a month ago. So now this is a new era, and this is your parade. It's not ours, it belongs to the community, all of you. And we want you to take responsibility for it. So I just want to thank you for coming out and being with us today as we talk about how important this parade is to our community. We need institutions like the African American Day Parade. We need institutions like the Schomburg Center for Black Culture and Research. We need institutions like we see all throughout this city, Harlem Week, and this program. But we need you the most, the community. This is yours. And I thank you so much for coming out and being in this parade every year and marching and standing tall and without all the negativity. And when they talk about the press, remember, we doesn't have to be on Fifth Avenue or downtown for the press to come and show what we do the best here, to shine the light on the best of our peoples. We are good people. And this parade highlights the best of us. And it also commemorates our ancestors on this very special day. Never forget the sacrifices of our peoples. If it wasn't for them, we would not have this great place called America. We would not have a place here around the world want to come and be in this country without the descendants of slaves. And remember, Harlem is our home. Everyone have a home. You have Little Italy, you have Little Chinatown, you have this, but this is the Harlem of the world, and this is the African American home. When they think about Harlem, they think about the African American great people who made it what it is. So I want to thank you and support us whatever way you can. This parade is free. We doesn't charge you a dime to be in this parade because it's yours. So support us whatever level you can. Volunteerism, donation of your time, and a little couple of dollars if you have it. But know for a fact, this is going to be our 54th parade, and next year going to be our 55th anniversary, and we're going to have a good time. It's about education, it's about health, it's about culture, it's about making sure that our community is respected through governmental practices and all those other good things that grow up a community. We want to focus on those areas, and we thank you so much. Have a good day and enjoy the press conference.
Okay, so right now we're going to have Senator Cordell Claire come up and just say a few words. Just a few, just a few.
Good morning. Oh, come on. Y'all are up or what? Come on, good morning, y'all. Yeah, you heard Yusuf. This is our parade. Yeah, you know, it always brings great joy. I was introduced as an honorary guest, but I'm not a guest. This is home. I grew up in this parade. I grew up watching it. My father marched with the Masons. We'd all run out to go see him and all the bands coming up from the black universities, and we tried to do what they did and look like they looked, and it was a lot of fun, and it's still a lot of fun. The great thing about this parade is that, you know, it is always home. It's so easy to feel pushed out and it's easy to look at things that have passed and that no longer exist. But every time this parade comes down 7th Avenue, I'm reminded, Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard, excuse me. Okay, tried to get me on that one, no. Anytime I see this parade, it just brings back the memory and the specialness of it. And Yusuf talked about Abe Schneider. He was not just a parade organizer, he was a mentor. He was a leader in this community. Give it up for him. It is leadership when you can stand when it's not popular, do things that are hard to do. When he told the liquor companies, you won't be in this parade, okay? We won't advertise cigarettes to our people. We won't advertise McDonald's and I don't want to call any names, but fast food and things that are bad for us and all. We will not have music that degrades black women and black families, okay? So a lot of people don't understand the spirit of the parade, but it's a spirit of community and integrity and love for his people and wanting to see us elevated and celebrate the very best of us. So we appreciate him for setting the tone and for leaving that legacy. And I appreciate Yusuf, Melvin, Jasmine, y'all are preserving that legacy. It's so important. Don't let anybody take it away from us. Now, when you take those kinds of positions, people, when you take those positions in life, certain people don't want to support you. Okay? So I'm telling you for yourselves and to tell other people, support this parade. That's what makes it ours. That we don't have to get money from this one that wants us to do certain things and let us come out there and show you how to be a certain way. Let us support this parade, support Yusuf and everything that he does so he could keep bringing black excellence to us year after year. Thank you so much. I'm not going to stand between you and the entertainment, but I just wanted to come here and say that. And I'm a member forever. I just happen to be a senator now, but I was always a member of the parade. And you know, Yusuf, you have my number all the time. Please call me. This parade is going to get greater and greater and greater. Thank you so much.
It's clear.
Okay, can we just, because we're about to close out the press conference portion, but can we just get all of our honorary guests and our honorees on the stage for a quick photo, please? That's why she was trying to call you.
I was trying to tell you to come back.
So could we just get one good, nice photo with everyone? Oh, Bevy's here.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. That's awesome. It's all good. It's wonderful to see you.
That brought tears to my eyes, what Cordell Clare said, and I appreciate it. It really did.
Come on, you coming up here? Rock and roll.
Oh, let's get him in this photo.
Mr. Dean is here. Thank you for joining us. Come to the stage, please. We need you for a photo op.
Come in. No, you're the expert. We know. We trust you. Lou and Kerry, come.
I can stand at the back.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I can't be famous. My face is hurting from smiling. Thank you.
Can we get our board members? Can we get our board members up here quickly?
Let's do that. No, we got.
If we have any of the African American Day Parade board members, we'd like you on stage for a photo op, please. Any board members here for the parade? Can we have you come to the stage, please? Where are they at?
They're in the hallway. That's what I was trying to say. Like they're working. So everyone is not quite over yet. It's not quite over. So we have one more performance, and then also I need everyone to just kind of stick around for another 15 minutes because we're going to set up for our panel. It's our culture panel. We have Bevy Smith, Lou Sierra, and Kerry D. Singleton. And of course, Joaquin Dean, that will be on the panel. So please stick around. It will be very interesting, and it will be a Q&A. So yeah, we're gonna have one more performance, and then we'll have like a little break, because remember, you can't eat in here, so you have to go out there to drink and eat. because I want to kind of close out this part. Also, please, let me just remind everyone of this. When, after the performance piece, anyone that wants to conduct any interviews or any photos in front of the step and repeat in the lobby, that is totally fine. You only have about 15, 20 minutes though, okay? Because we're gonna get this culture panel started really soon. All right, guys. Any more pictures in the hallway? All right? All right. Y'all was about to make me get a little ghetto. We professional right now. We professional. You know what you said? All right. Last one. All right. No more. Look, I said he said one more, said no more. Any pictures and, like I said, interviews, we're going to do that in the lobby. Okay? So we're going to introduce Disney. Where's the paper?
I got
Okay.
So as we said, we have one last performance for the press conference, a little bit of entertainment for you. We want to introduce one of our pre-parade performers, Disney Amaka. She's going to close us out with the Black National Anthem. Disney Amaka.
Disney.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Thank you guys so much for having me. Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you, Disney. Drop that little Instagram real quick. What's your Instagram? No, I think that might be better. Just go ahead.
My Instagram is DisneyAmyka_. That's DisneyAmyka_. Hi, Rakim.
Okay. So, guys, we're going to close out the press conference. If you want to do interviews or photos in the lobby, that's fine, and we'll meet back here in 15 minutes for the panel, okay? All right, bathroom break time. Let's just go, okay? Might be 10 minutes, but let's break time. Break time and we'll be back. Yeah, we're gonna set up right now, set up the chairs.
Oh, we gotta do that, or they're gonna do that? Okay, cool. All right, so I got this. I have my list for that.
going. You need 5 minutes? Okay. 5 minutes. Oh, it's going to take 5 minutes for everybody to sit down. Yes. Here you go. We got Miss Luciera. Thank you so much, Lou. And can we get Joaquin? And can we get Kerry? And where is Bevy? Can someone get Bevy? And can you guys have a seat? And your mics are, let's do a little brief, let's make sure your mics are good. Yes. Bob and Joaquin, can you guys come up? Where's, I thought I just
Testing.
Yeah, I just
5,
need
4,
everybody
3,
to
2, 1.
sit right here, Bob.
Oh.
Yes, please. Somebody said they were, but. All right, everybody just.
Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Thank you so much.
Check 1, 2.
If we could remind everyone to turn their phone volume down on your phones. Thank you. And to the young people in the house, I'm looking forward to lots of fashion questions. So, not just the young, but...
I'm so sorry, I'm late, y'all.
You can be late. And they want you to do a mic check.
Ow!
Everybody look up. Two. Mic sounds nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know. Vi, sometimes, you know, you get on these microphones and they're not the right thing, and you gotta use your voice to get out there. Give a big shout out to our First Lady right here, Vi Higginson.
Yes!
Yeah. We call her the First Lady because she was the First Lady on WBLS. Started uptown in Harlem. A lot of history here, yeah.
We love you, Vi.
You know, we'll be celebrating, well, we're celebrating still 50 years of hip hop and, well, over 50 years of the African American Day Parade. And next year, Vi, I think it's gonna be 50 years of WBLS, right? Yeah.
Nice.
Whew. Shucks. Flashbacks. Put it all together. It was a wonderful time, right? How you doing, everybody? I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS, and we're back with the AADP's What's Going On in Culture. It's a panel discussion. I'll be your host, and now African Americans and the culture have been around for some time now, and seen and found everywhere, from music to dance, fashion, television, household items, and beyond. African Americans have shown how innovative ideas and thinking can have such a positive effect within our black community. I have with me today some of these people that have been trendsetters and pillars in creating, living, and most importantly have had years in impacting African American culture. I have on a panel today award-winning TV and radio host, actor, and author, Bevelations, lessons from a mother, auntie, bestie, Beverly Smith. Give her a big round of applause, everybody.
Thank you.
Radio host and Intrigue Magazine President Carrie D. Singleton. Yeah. Pageant coach, runway coach, and owner of Ulup Entertainment International, Lou Sierra. And CEO and founder of Rough Riders. Rough Riders Entertainment, Jaquin Dean. And I asked the audience to save some of the questions for the end of the discussion. We're going to just open it up and let you ask some questions then, okay? Now let's get into it. All of us have been involved and a part of several different eras and stages of the development of our culture and history. Bevy, you have been around and have you had your hand in everything from fashion, acting, award-winning TV and radio host, and so much more. Can you share with us some of the challenges that you may have faced or have witnessed as a black woman breaking out in the industry, and some of the challenges that we are facing today as far as in the industry today?
Well, I think that the challenges that black people have in these rare air industries of entertainment and fashion and publishing, I think they're very well documented. You know, for me, I'm an optimistic person, and I always try and look at solutions, and I try and look at the positive angle of things. You know, when you think about systemic racism, when you think about ageism, when you think about sizeism, these are all realistic things. But what can we do as the most powerful people on this earth, as black people who have overcome slavery, who have overcome Jim Crow, who have overcome genocide at the hands of the police, and you know, just so many things. And yet we've been able to create these incredible spaces, and we've been able to kind of, you know, when you look at pop culture, there's nothing in pop culture right now that black people did not have a hand in or even just outright create, right? So I look at us as people who continually rise, as you know, Maya Angelou said, and still I rise, right? And that is really what we're about. So when I look at the obstacles, I dust them off my shoulders. You know, I brush them off my shoulders because I don't really believe that there's any entity that can keep me from pursuing and manifesting my dreams and my goals. You know, I have a mantra, it gets greater later. I am 56 years old, and I am still doing amazing things. I'm still breaking down barriers, and I'm still, you know, evolving, and that's an amazing thing. And that's our gift. That's our superpower, our resilience and our tenacity. So I didn't really want to talk about the negative. I'm here to talk about the positive, Bob, okay?
Yeah, do your thing. But that's a beautiful thing. Give her a big round of applause, everybody. Yeah. All right. Same question for Coach. You know, you have coached and have been in the fashion industry for years now. And what are some of the challenges that you have witnessed in our community since your inception into the industry and still see today?
I think a lot of the challenges that my sister here mentioned. In the fashion industry, we were considered a rarity, something that was so not mainstream, or we were considered for a season. It's hot to have black models right now. So it's always been a challenge to maintain. And one of the ways I think that didn't help, when we did get a African-American designer, he felt pressure, or she sometimes, to mainstream as well, that they didn't think they could have as many African-American models as they did. But on a quick note, for any of you who want to do a little homework, look up the name Patrick Kelly. He was the first African-American and the first American, period, to be accepted in the French Syndicale in Paris. Yeah. He was the first American to be accepted as a French designer. And for his casting, he would have a sign outside that said, "I don't care what color you are, just be able to walk your behinds off." And whenever the press questioned him and said, "How can you have 30 models and 28 are black?" He said, oh, I didn't request the color. I just request somebody who can wipe their behinds off, and they just happen to be African American. And one other thing, very often, when girls did pursue modeling, they didn't think of the business end of it. All of us on this panel are going to tell you talent is wonderful, but it means nothing without a business sense. You got to have a plan. You got to surround yourself with people who are going upward. You have to understand no is not an ending, it's just another beginning. And business is very, very, very important in everything. Living in Paris, I was the model saying, let's change our francs to liras and our liras to Deutschmark and our Deutschmark to yen. And the other models would be like, Lou, please. I was like, pay your taxes in the USA, even if we're living in Paris and Italy and Germany. That's why I can come back and now buy me a place in Harlem.
I know that.
So we have to stay on top of the business as well as the fashion.
Talk about it. Talk about it. That's what's up. Give her a big round of applause. Very beautiful, beautiful. Jaquan Dean, you broke out in this industry and created this brand and wave and have had some of the best music talent in hip-hop's history. Yeah, and we're celebrating 50 years. Say it again.
Oh, you wanted to just interview?
Before you jump in, what are some of the challenges that you faced trying to become a successful black man in this industry, and some of the breakthroughs?
Well, first, assalamu alaikum to my family out there. Peace be unto y'all.
Yes.
Challenges, basically, challenges is really, most challenges was all really about vision. You know, being able to stay in your vision is very important. Sometimes because, you know, you got to stay consistent, you got to stay dedicated, you got to see it all the way out, because what happens in your journey, you have a lot of people that's obstacles that you come across. Cool. And when those people show up, they just, you know, a stepping stone to where you have to go. But don't take it personal, right? So it's very important to not live in your feelings, you know, live in your vision. Wow. So that's important. That's where I'm at with this. I feel that as long as you have your vision, you never could be disappointed.
Is there anything that you had encountered that you had to maybe bypass, go around, go over, go under?
Say that
again? Was there something that took place in your life during this travel time that stood out in your mind that you had to do something special to get around that?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's a lot of stories. You know, one could be, it was a story that, and it was for another question, but we had a challenge when we crossed over into doing a partnership with Def Jam Universal. When we crossed over to do that collaboration and that partnership, we found a lot of challenges with our brand being not respected, right? So when we locked in, how we was able to overcome it was, you know, Rough Riders a family. So what happens is we put in every department in that particular Def Jam area, in every department, we put a family member in each department. Yes. So we set the tone. So you know, because I believe that family is the key and the essence of keeping the balance. Because if you don't know me, my family know me, so they're gonna keep you in checkmate.
There you go.
Right, so we had a challenge, one of the challenges was we had the Rough Rider Anthem video. I don't know if everybody remember the DMX Rough Rider Anthem video.
Hello.
And that was a challenge because the record label said they had this big director that wanted to shoot that video. So when he said, yeah, we want to shoot that video, we know exactly what to do with this video. We said, no, you can't shoot this video. This is a Rough Rider video. And so we took possession of that video, and we took a black brother by the name of Joseph Smith, and empowered him to shoot the video, and he had really no experience. And so the first day, we took our step to controlling our own destiny, right? And so what happened was that morning, we got the permit, and one bike went up the one-way street, and we lost our permit at 7 a.m. in the morning. Wow. Right, so now they're trying to figure out like, oh, y'all guys, how y'all gonna pull this video off now? But we was very confident because we from New York, and we had over 2,000 bikers in Hunts Point waiting for us, because they thought we was gonna come with a whole lot of bikers, but we said, no, y'all stay over there and have a picnic. We'll come to see y'all over by storm. We broke all the rules, but sometimes you gotta break rules to get things done.
There you go.
Give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Another young man who's been in the industry for a long time, and he watched this young man park his pink Cadillac over there across the street from Sylvia's. G. Keith Alexander, give him a big round of applause. We're going to First Man on WBLS. G. Keith, you know where I was going with that, huh? You didn't know where I was going with that for a second, right? But there they are, look, two original people from WBLS, you know. They were there when they said WBLS. Thank you guys for your service and all the years. I love you guys, my radio buddies. All right, Kerry, speaking of music, you have had countless people on your show and have conducted several interviews from people in the industry to those that are up and coming. And you've been a part of the media side of things for a long time also. As someone who has created this positive platform for our people to gain exposure, what are some of the challenges that you've seen and experienced while going through these experiences and process?
Well, in terms of challenges, before starting my own show, the Kerry's Corner Radio Show, which is actually taping its last show this Monday. Our 10 years is up, a decade.
Ooh, all right.
But and no shade to anybody in the audience, I modeled my show after what I learned from working at other radio stations, what I did not want my show to be like. I worked. Power 105 was one of the first jobs I had in New York City in radio. I worked there.
It's okay. It's all right.
Well, I know
it's good. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, but I worked at Power 105 when they first became a hip hop station. Many of you all remember maybe that they were a R&B station, a pop station before that.
There you go.
So I had a job there, and I said to myself, when I started my own show, I wanted to provide a platform for people that 105 would not have, or that other commercial radio stations would not have. So I wanted to be able to have Melba Moore on my show, and Melissa Morgan on my show, and Adina Howard on my show, and cool DJ Red Alert on my show. But I also wanted to be able to provide a platform for the mom and pop shops, the up and coming models, those singers who hadn't signed to a record label, and other small businesses around the city and around the country. So I don't know about challenges. If any challenges, I think legitimacy was the thing that I had to overcome. But once we got syndicated and began airing on 9 different radio stations across the country and in London, we kind of at that point established legitimacy, and I was just proud that I was able to provide a platform. You know, it's hard to get into commercial radio when you don't have a budget. You know, when you're trying to promote a new brand, a new clothing brand, or a new record. And I wanted to be that vehicle. So I'm proud to say that we've been able to hold the door open for aspiring recording artists, aspiring singers. We've been able to have been a consistent platform for the African American Day Parade for the past 4 years, when others would not. And the only challenge, I guess, that I would say that I had was one that I'm going to have on Monday, which is saying goodbye to my team. So.
Well, We thank you for the years and experience that you have put into the business too. Give him a big round of applause, everybody.
I'm twinning with this guy today, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, he gave me a call this morning. He said, "Yo,
Yeah, that's
you
what
wearing
happened.
your African American Day T-shirt?" I said, "Yeah. If I wear this, are they gonna give us another one for next week?"
Right. Can't wear the same clothes twice. Yeah.
But if they don't, and I wear this, believe me, I'll go. Maybe I'll hand wash it.
Oh, well. I love this guy. Give a big hand for Dr. Bob Lee. One of the coolest, smoothest, and most down-to-earth radio personalities I've ever had the opportunity to meet.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. How much do I have to pay you for that one?
Your presence is payment enough, brother.
That's
Your
a
presence is
beautiful
my
thing.
present.
I'm loving it. Thank you. All right. All right, this is for Bevy. Comparing times from then and now, the artists have evolved and have had so many different moving parts and so many different spectrums of the industry. For the youth that may not have interest in the history and culture of it all, how important are the arts for the African American community?
Well, we're sitting here in one of the most iconic spaces for African American culture, the Schomburg Library, which before we got the Blacksonian, which is what I call the African American Museum in DC, before we had that, this was the largest repository for our cultural keepsakes. And the fact that it's right here in Harlem, in the heart of Harlem, across the street from Harlem Hospital, it really means a lot. And history is so important to me. My mom is up there, my mom Lolly. Hi, Lolly. And my mom came to New York in 1955, and she met my dad on St. Nicholas Avenue, and so history, and particularly Harlem's history, means a lot to me. It's made me who I am. And so I'm always urging our young people to understand from whence they came, right? Because, you know, I don't get to do all the things that I get to do without understanding the shoulders that I'm climbing on, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just like, I didn't just pop up and able to have a successful career in fashion without so many people coming before me. Just 2 days ago, I went to Delaware. There's a museum called the Winterthur Museum, and it's owned by the DuPonts. And they have an exhibit about an African-American designer named Ann Lowe. Ann Lowe was the creator of Jackie Kennedy's wedding gown, a black woman. And she was making clothes for debutantes and for socialites in the 1910s up until 1972. This is a black woman. So when you talk about Patrick Kelly is a descendant of Ann Lowe. You know what I mean? We're all, anybody that works in fashion is the descendant of Ann Lowe. The reason why I went to the exhibit is because when I attended the Met Gala in 2019, I wore a gown by a woman named Kimberly Goldson, who was a Project Runway winner. So the gown was by her, but guess who did the cape?
Who did it?
Harlem's own, Dapper Dan. And so they asked if they could borrow my cape and my gown because they wanted to vibrantly show the legacy from Ann Lowe, designing in 1915 for white debutantes all the way up to 2019, and Dapper Dan and Kimberly Goldson designing a gown and a cape for me that was seen all over the world, because when you do the Met Gala, baby, that's the world stage, you know what I mean? And so that's what legacy and that's what history means, you know. I had the honor of meeting Waz's dad. That's legacy and history. I wanted to meet him because that's a legacy in history. My mom being here is important to me. That's legacy in history. My baby, Vi Higginson, that's legacy in history. And I'm blessed to be able to have these people in my life. And I always stop and chat with them. Vi knows, anytime I see her, I'm all over her because of what she was able to do with Mama I Want to Sing. I remember being a kid And Mama, I Want to Sing was our entry into theater. That's you gave us that in our community. So can we give it up for Vi?
Yeah.
And that's why it's important for us to always look back, to give back, to move forward, but never ever forget from whence you came.
That's right. Bevy, thank you.
Because Y stands on the shoulders of Berry Gordy. Like Berry Gordy, right? Like, you know, him being a maverick and going his own way and creating a whole movement. I was a part of the Rough Riders movement, so I know it's a movement, baby. That's a whole other kind of story, but
yes.
we'll talk about that.
Give it up for Bev, man. Serious.
Now, how did you come up with the name Rough Riders? No, that's not on here. This next question is for Luciera. How important is it to study your craft, and what advice would you give to young African American girls and women too, who are trying to succeed, and guys too, who are trying to succeed in this industry?
Well, I think what my sister just said is a big part of that. You have to realize from whence you came. You know, people like Billy Blair and Pat Cleveland and Naomi Sims and Beverly Johnson. And yes, those are the women whose shoulders I stood on. And last night I actually called one of my mentors, a lot of you may know. Her name is Audrey Smalls. She's very big, and I gave her flowers last night by telling her if I could mention a mentor, I would mention her. In the defense of our people, though, there are so many scams, and our hearts are full of how much we want it, that there is a model scam. Give me $10,000, I'll make you a model. Give me $3,000, I'll sell you a portfolio. So one of the things I am so grateful to our Heavenly Father, so grateful to God, that I get to be the person I needed. And I have made myself so reasonably priced that there are those who can't believe I traveled with former President Trump for 15 years. He hired me to be the runway coach and choreographer for Miss Universe. And as of 2 days ago, they smuggled Miss Ukraine out of the Ukraine to come and work with me. Wow. This morning, I worked with Miss New Jersey, who you guys got to watch the Miss USA pageant in 2 weeks. She works at J.P. Morgan, and she's of African descent and 6 feet tall. And she trained with me and said, I'm scared. And I said, I got you. And she beat 118 girls 6 months ago in New Jersey, and they still mad. So we have to actually help each other. We have to put feelers out, and most important, keep God first, because I'm still sitting here at the age of 59. I'm with you, sister. Okay. With my mouth wide open, and Jesus keeps saying, I got this. I'm the one that parted the oceans. I got this little stuff. So right, we just keep God first and keep each other in mind. Yes. No, it was all you. Thank you.
Good, Coach. Give Coach a big round of applause. Yeah. Daquan, we have seen the effects. Say it again.
Yes.
Oh, I said that.
What are you doing? Huh? It's okay.
You said what? Oh. All right. We have seen the effects of both positive and negative as far as the rap is concerned. And, you know, a lot of people complain about some of the lyrics today. What are some of these positive and negative effects, and how do you feel about the current climate within the hip-hop community?
Well, the hip hop community positive is global. You know, we reach people from all over the world, coming from the Bronx, New York, to be in any country in the world. That's celebrating, you know, hip hop. You know, hip hop is a way of expression. They express themselves in a manner you might lyrically might get good, bad, and ugly, but is resonate with the people across the world, because similar things that we're going through here is going through that everywhere, right? So our lyrics, penetrate the soul. Let's give it up to my man DMX, man. Rest in peace. Right? So like we had DMX as a soul that has been tested from, spiritually, mental, physically, spiritually, and was able to cross over and touch millions and millions and millions of people. So hip hop is, is always positive. Even if it's a negative, it's still positive. So never get caught up in the small things. And in a negative, you can find something positive. So I think that what needs to happen is, as Rough Riders to the rescue, and shout out to the rescue family in the building. Let's give them some love. My father's in the building. Give him some love. So, Brother Yusuf, Adrian Felton, Janine. I think that we need to build platforms. When we have success, it's really not about you. It's really about what you leave behind to the legacies that come behind it. And all the money in the world's not gonna work for you. It don't mean nothing if you can't glorify money and stuff. You have to follow your faith. You have to follow God. And once you become one yin with God, then you become moving in His direction instead of moving in your own direction. So I believe that what you leave behind, passing it forward is important. And the climax is real simple. We here in the 50th year anniversary of hip hop in Yankee Stadium just recently, and I got to see the new generation and the old generation get on the same stage and come together. Let's give it up for the 50th anniversary of hip hop. So that kind of bridged the gap. That's we're celebrating. We're in the time of celebrating hip hop and the culture, and that's the climax. You also have like the hip hop treasures, the A&E. I did that with LL Cool J. That was dope. And it's just so much energy out there with hip hop. So let's embrace and support the youth in the community, and let's not be afraid of our own youth. What happens is I feel that we walked away from the youth because we comfortable in our own skin, and we left the battlefield. So I feel that the battlefield is our responsibility to pass the torch. Other cultures is able to pass torches for generations, and we can't. So everybody that's successful need to come to the table and stand for one united front. We all doing something different, but we all going the same way. So why can't we stand for one thing together? Peace.
All right. Kerry, similar question as far as the music industry and the effects it has had on our community through the media, radio, TV, etc., and social media. What are some of these positives, or those positives, and what are some of your concerns?
I'm often critiqued for being way too old school, and particularly when it comes to music. I don't really listen to anything that came out after 2000. I'm sorry, it's just me. It's just my musical taste. I have a different ear. I'm an Earth, Wind, and Fire type of guy, a Janet Jackson type of guy, a Keith Sweat type of guy, a New Jack Swing type of guy. I think that generations create music based on their own experiences, right? And I think that everybody's experience in terms of generations, whether you were born in the 70s, the 80s, the 60s, etc., you're gonna have different experiences. And hip hop has always been about art, right? And so art is reflective of our experiences. So, hip hop that, came out in the 70s, 80s, and 90s is gonna be a little bit more reflective of the South Bronx and Jamaica, Queens, and certain parts of, the country where, it was rougher for us back then, I feel like. The neighborhoods, anybody that's from the South Bronx or from Harlem, think about what the South Bronx and Harlem looked like 40 years ago. You all's experiences are very different, because I'm from Boston, so I didn't live in New York. But Roxbury was the same thing. The experiences that we had, in the 70s and 80s are vastly different than the experiences that these kids have today. We didn't have cell phones and social media, but we had community. We tend to be outside, and we had street games. So again, there are cultural differences or generational differences that create differences in our art. So I just feel as if, like the brother from Rough Rider said right here, I mean, it's imperative for us as elders. God, I can't believe I'm saying that now. But don't forget, black don't crack. I turned 51 in March, and I know damn well I don't look 51. Maybe 49. But I think it's imperative that there needs to be more community. I think the word community has changed. Again, I'm not from New York. I've lived here since 1996, so damn it, I'm a New Yorker now. But our neighborhoods may have had less money, but they had so much more community. They had so much more family. And I kind of just wish we could get back to that. And then, of course, I think the music would also reflect more community. I think today, because of social media, which makes our youth so antisocial, that the music that they listen to is reflective of that. It seems to be very dark, it seems to be very dismal, and it seems to be very self-driven. And I just feel like music has always been an expression that us as black people, we use it for a lot of things. We use music to mourn, we use music to celebrate, we use music to be politically active, and I just think that needs to be replicated.
I just wanted to say on that about community, though. I understand what you're saying about community, but what Wise doing with his organization, you guys are having a gala next month, right? You're honoring people in the community that are doing community works. I was just honored that Harlem honors, again, another community-based organization for people that are actually in the community working. And next Sunday at the parade, I have 3 organizations that I'm donating to and I'm doing a fundraiser for. I'm working with WARM, which works with women who have been battered and abused. I'm working with Harlem United, which is HIV/AIDS outreach, and I'm working with the Go Hard Dance Troupe. And these are community-based organizations, so we still have community. It's about us making sure that we reach out to the community. And what Lou was saying too, that she has classes that are a moderate price so that young women who want to become models, they don't get scammed by someone who's selling them it's $10,000. So we still have community. We just have to, as Waz said, we can't be afraid of our kids. We gotta go towards our kids, right? Instead of being away from them. And even if their music is not always my cup of tea, even though I like a lot of music, like Waz has a new artist named Scarlett, who I absolutely love. But we still have to try and find a way to bridge that gap. We have to. It's imperative to our future, because our children, like Whitney and George Benson said, children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Okay?
That's right.
Right,
give it up for Bev.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So bridging the gap basically happens in a 5-point system. You find the trouble areas. Once you identify the trouble areas, then you create a 50 families in each point. Once you identify the 50 families in each point, it becomes 250 families. After you get to 250 families, you identify them to become part of your family. And so your family, our family is Rough Riders Lifestyle, Rough Riders Rescue. So we do subscription, we do membership. So what we do is we have over 250 chapters worldwide. So we turn cities into chapters now.
Yeah.
So before, when we did chapters, we was doing chapters for the fun and the love and marketing and promotion, and it was just a hobby. Now we turned the hobby into a community-based situation. That's the flow.
All right, check it out. Last one. This question is for everybody. Do you have any projects that you are working on, or with any organizations that you may be working with to uplift and inspire the youth within our arts, or any positive affiliations that may be helpful to someone who is interested in getting their children involved in something positive in our community?
I mentioned that I'm working with Go Hard Dance Troupe, and also, oh, my phone is over there. My friend Crystal McCrary and her son have a new organization that they're doing in conjunction with Harlem PSA, and they're doing a, Harlem PAL. PAL, sorry, not PSA. I'm thinking about flying and stuff, TSA. But anyway, they have an organization that they've started where they're giving people who hoop, that are good basketball players, opportunities to get scholarships to go into these training programs, because we all know, again, the cost of entry. Once upon a time, if you could hoop, you could just go and go to the gauchos and different things like that. But it's different now. Everything costs money. Everything's attached to $1. So her and her son have done this great organization, and they're doing outreach in Harlem, and I believe it's next week they're going to be doing an event. Then it's the Go Hard Girls, which you guys would look into, Harlem United, HIV/AIDS, and then WARM, again, for women who have been in abusive relationships. So those are the things that, for me, are my give backs.
Thank you for all you do. Thank you.
My pleasure.
I have way too many. We would be here. My brain was just saying if I could name the top 10. But I'm just going to encourage everyone, please encourage the young people. There are so many things in Harlem. I have Nat Wood here, who's part of the People's Film Festival that I host, which you can dedicate any kind of film. A short, a documentary, and again, we celebrated the 50th year of hip hop at Magic Johnson Theater. We do Days in the Park. Last Saturday, Veronica, who's a board member here, we did an uplifting gospel day all day at Riverbank Park. So there are so many events. My company is a Loop International. Again, I am the lowest paid person that does what I do, and I work with everyone of every color. So again, I'll let the other people go. So.
Okay. So basically, what we do is we station in Yonkers, so we had adopted the city in Yonkers. We've been out there for about 6 months to a year, and so we partner with AT&T to do coding. We have a whole facility, the music program. So we have a music program. We also have a TV and film program there in Yonkers. So we turned that whole city into a family city. So that's where we at. As far as like other programs, we do on TV and film. We have a lot of TV and film projects coming through the pipeline. We also have a tour. So we have multiple tours going on. So we got, I don't know if y'all remember about the Rough Rider Cash Money tour. I don't know if y'all even heard about that. We're about to put that back in effect.
Okay, so I'll be there.
You remember that, right?
And how do we get this cash? How do we get this cash?
That was cool. So what we did with that one was, that was the first black tour to ever go out between two families without no relation, no connections with anybody tied but us. And so we collaborated. So we got 20 years later, we back at the table to deal with that. And then we have development of Rough Rider X Games. So you know, if you heard of the X Games, so now we have our own Rough Rider X Games. So that's in the development. We're looking to push that out, and then we're doing a ride out tour. And that started August 7th. We're gonna be doing that for 5 or 10 cities for the promo run. And then in Atlantic City is gonna be the grand finale. So how we feel, we bring the youth together, we recruit them through things that they love doing. So our tour is a lifestyle tour, so it's basically people from all walks of life is competing, because everybody's always talking about who's the best at this and the best at that. So when you become in the Rough Rider world, we get to identify who really is the best.
Love it.
So that's one of the things.
Is there a website people can go to find out more about this?
Yes, you're gonna go to www.roughriders.com. You can go to that site. We also have the first black hip hop energy drink out called Ride Out. So you need to check that out. That's impeccable. We doing products, and we using our products. Like we do bundles of here. We do Ride Out energy drinks. So what we do is we give products in the 5 points of the city for the youth to be able to have a commission base. So it's like the Girl Scout cookies where they take the money in and they go put it in the non-for-profit. We take our products and we give a percentage to the youth within that community.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So that's our model of the giving back. So that's what we into.
That's what's up, that's what's up.
And on behalf of the Kerry's Corner Radio Show and Intrigue Magazine, of which I'm the president, my assistant, Kevon Merrill, who's seated in the center, he and myself visit juvenile detention centers. So the Crossroads Detention Center in Brooklyn, and I forget the name of the one in the Bronx. We go there for what's called the Read Aloud program, to read to and mentor individuals, males and females, who are incarcerated, because I think that's a population that we often forget. Those kids, the majority of those kids that we have in our juvenile detention centers are going to come home. Most of them are going to come home. And when they are incarcerated, one of the things that myself and my assistant do is we mentor to them. We let them know that we have this radio show, we have this magazine, we're doing this, we're doing that. And these are opportunities that we extend to our young people who are in detention centers, not just to motivate them during their sentences, but to give them something to look forward to when they get out. So I'm really about that life in terms of giving back to the kids who are behind bars right now, because they also are our future.
Yes, indeed.
Beautiful.
What's your
website? Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Just Google Kerry Singleton, K-E-R-I-D Singleton. Kerry like the lotion, Singleton like John, who I met on this stage. Rest in peace. That's how we give back.
By the way, and the more they talk, I'm like, Lou, you should have mentioned the prom giveaway, that I give away $1,000 evening gowns to the entire state of New York. You should have mentioned that every pageant system, you host the winners with free hours. You should have announced, I am on the board to do the first official Africa Fashion Week, where I'm gonna have over 300 girls and I have to choose 60 and train them how to walk New York fashion. So my website is ALUP, A-L-U-P, International. And for all the young people out there deciding on a company or a website, always put your name in your company. Mine is ALUP because it stands for Alu Production. And that's how people remember. One other thing, please, family, go buy your name. Go buy your name. GoDaddy.com name domain. Yep. The time has come when people Google things like a plumber in Harlem license. The people who come up first are the ones who own their name. And that is something that my counterparts know among us. Buy your name, and buy your grandchildren. Grandparents, please. One of the things they're doing at birth now, other people are buying their grandkids' names because it's all coming on the computer. Again, thank you. A Loop International.
There you go. And
Yes.
she's right, because if you don't buy your name, somebody else will, and then you try to get it back, you're going to spend a whole lot of money.
Thank you. That's exactly what happened.
I also wanted to say, go to roughriderstotherescue.org is where our non-for-profit is. The Rough Riders to the Rescue #2, therescue.org. So, just go there, and that's where you can find us at. And October 20th, we have our gala, first gala going on, so we look forward to collaborate with y'all on that. So let's connect and let's bridge the gap.
Give our panel a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. All right, I'm going to open up for any questions. Any questions in the audience? There's a microphone back there. Can somebody handle that microphone, or should we bring it up here, or what?
Make sure it's a question, not a statement or a manifesto.
Yes, questions only.
Because it's time for lunch.
Questions only.
Hello, everybody. I have a request.
Oh.
I would like very much if Miss Lou will show us how to walk.
Yes, come on, Lou.
Go. Just something that everybody can use. When you're taking a photograph, one foot in front of the other, one slightly back, and whatever foot is in front, put that hip in front, put that shoulder in front. That's called a slimming pose, ladies and gentlemen, so we don't look square in photographs, okay? Whenever you're taking a picture, don't put your entire hand in your pocket. Leave one finger out or the other one's out. There we go.
Yes.
And then I'll just do a little walk because she wants me to, and I cannot say no to this woman.
Okay. Come on, Lou. Show us what you're working with.
School is in session.
Yes, indeed. Yes, Lou. Yes.
Hey.
Come on now. Woo! Bravo, Lou.
New York Fashion Week. Good, Lou.
Wow, we need a Lou class at the Rough Riders organization.
All day.
All day.
Let's give it up for Lou, please.
Do
we have the fashion goes into so many ways. Top photographers have me stand behind them, and the new artist just does what I do in the photograph and just copy me because they don't have time to teach them how to take photos. That's the kind of stuff we do. Thank you, Violet.
Own it.
Got another question right there.
Hi,
Another
Ms.
question.
Bevy. I'm wondering, could you give us a list of some nice up-and-coming African-American designers, maybe local in New York, but just some really sharp, bright designers that you think we should be on the lookout for?
There's so many. There's a woman based here in Harlem named Junie Ann Hibbert. Junie, and she makes really beautiful clothes, and they're literally, it's sustainable fashion because she takes things that are already vintage or old and she remakes them. So that's a really great designer, and she's local. There's a great designer by the name of Hanifa, which she has a website. She's really big. I'm going tomorrow to a designer by the name of Sergio Hudson. And a lot, what Michelle Obama wore to the inauguration, the Biden inauguration, that eggplant pantsuit, that was Sergio Hudson. Kamala Harris wears him a lot as well. Stephanie Mills wears him. A lot of people do. He's a great designer, and he actually did a collaboration with Target. He's very expensive, so that's why I'm saying he did a collaboration with Target, because that's a little cheaper. And then I would think of another great up-and-coming designer that I can tell you about. Gosh, there's so many people that I've seen. There's a great fashion show that's taking place actually tonight called the Bomb Fashion Show, and it's open to the public. And that's something else I would say, guys. If you're interested in fashion, fashion used to be so insular and closed off, and now it's a lot more democratic. So, there's that fashion show that's open to the public tonight. There's another one open to the public on Tuesday called Emerge. And so there's so many different ways to get into fashion and to also tap into different brands. Thank you.
Yep. All right, we got to wrap this up soon, guys. Like she says, lunchtime.
How many more? 2, 3? Okay.
How's it going, everyone? Thank you so much for the panel. Really wanted to, you touched on some of the social justice work that you're doing. Wanted to find out if you are looking at environmental justice, because those are the things that are sort of affecting or disproportionately affecting Black and brown people. And I think it's important that we really start to talk and engage and see the intersections of criminal justice.
It's environmental
racial justice.
racism.
Yes.
It's environmental racism. Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a great organization here in Harlem, Harlem Grown, that they teach children how to grow food and different things like that. And that's something that we all need to get back to. Most of us are from the South here, and so that's something that our ancestors did, and that's something that's very important. But environmental racism, that's the reason why we have so many, we have such a high rate of cancers and things like that. That's due to environmental racism. When you think about the fact that over there on Riverside, they have that sewage plant, that's environmental racism. Why they ain't put that downtown? Because it's a Black community. So environmental racism. So I'm so glad that you brought that up. We have to start being a lot more careful about the things that we put in our bodies, but also on our bodies. You know, me personally, I like a good old shea butter to keep these legs all shiny and greased up and everything, because I know that that's good and it's natural and all of that kind of thing. Because so many of these things that you buy that are perfumed and all of that stuff, there's a lot of toxic chemicals in that. And that all goes back to environmental racism. So thank you for bringing that up.
And please remember, we have things like 125th Street, Watkins, that has been there forever. I get all my creams and lotions from there as well.
So I just wanted to say, National Clean Water Collective, my organization, we focus on water equity. We're dealing with that crisis in New York City. 1 in 5 New Yorkers may be drinking water from lead. So we need to start to think about how these things intersect with criminal and racial justice.
And
Thank you very
vote.
much.
Yes, thank
And
you.
vote. Thank you.
And vote, yes. Local elections.
Yes.
Good afternoon. My name is Ramos Gaston. I'm the founder of Bum and Know the Walk, the Talk, the Talk. I just wanted to say, as far as this being a fashion panel, I'm a forensic peer specialist. I graduated from Howard Harp about 12, 13 years ago, and that is for adult advocacy. I wanted to ask the panel, because this is specifically about fashion. I personally, okay, I'm speaking in regards to fashion specifically because I personally, I got news from a partnership, and they have an office on 5th Avenue and Madison. And I just wanted to know, being that I'm possibly going to sign a deal, this is my brand, and it's a fitness, mental fitness brand, and it's targeting towards the fitness industry and fashion. So I would like to collaborate with the panel, especially the man over here from Rough Rider, and the young lady allowed me to take a picture with her. And this lady right here, I used to watch her on reality shows.
I never did reality.
Well, you know what
Talk show.
Host.
Yeah, no, I never did anything reality, because I don't believe in reality TV, but that's a whole other thing. Don't get me started.
So I just wanted to say thank you for being here, and I'm gonna sign a deal next week, and they agreed to take my whole entire brand as far as the line is concerned. So I would like to know afterwards, can I speak to some of the people in the panel and help me usher in not only volunteering here, but also can you just guide a person like myself?
I'm gonna just tell you this from the stage, because I'm gonna dash up out of here because my mama's here and we got to go. But I'm gonna tell you this from the stage. Be very careful about what kind of deal you sign when you're talking about you giving somebody your brand. Be very careful about collaborations. Be very careful about, and Mark can tell you this, because when they did their Def Jam Rough Riders collaboration, y'all were sticklers about them points, right? And y'all were not gonna let Def Jam own that name. And a lot of times when you go into collaborations with a bigger entity, they try and own your name, right?
Yes, they try to own your name, and I mean, you have to definitely stand up for your for your entity.
So I hope you have a good lawyer that's not a real estate lawyer and not a copyright. I mean, you need a contract lawyer, you need a copyright lawyer, you need a trademark lawyer, and you need someone who actually does fashion to look over your contract. A fashion lawyer. There are lawyers who specialize in fashion contracts. That's what you need. Because famously, Halston signed a deal with J.C. Penney's without understanding that he got millions of dollars, but he actually sold the rights to his name. Halston, the very famous white designer from the 1970s, literally sold his name away for $10 million. He didn't understand it. He thought that, oh, I'm just gonna get this money. They had the rights to his name, so he could no longer design clothes under Halston.
I'm going to piggyback really quick. I was proposed by Fox TV and former President Trump to own my own reality show. And the night before we were going to sign the deal, they changed the name of the show to Runway Model Lou. And I was about to sign off, and thank God my entertainment attorney said, wait, you have to own the name Lou, so then you can sell it to them, rent it to them, or let them borrow it. Or they would have owned the name Lou. So be very careful. That'll be slid in underneath.
Yep, or license it to them. Or you can license it to them too.
Yeah. Yeah. Could have licensed, absolutely.
One more?
Oh, so this is not a question. This is just a.
It's all in the fine
It's
print.
not a question. It's just a little. This is a comment for Vi. Vi, this is for you.
I know that you have to go. My name is Hazel Rosetta Smith, and I'm so proud of the panel, and the word I'm looking at is passion. That's what I'm looking at in each of you and receiving. But I have to take this moment because so many of you mentioned Vi Higginson's name. Well, I spent 10 years of my life with Vi. I was the narrator of Mama, I Want to Sing.
Yes.
But it's not about me this moment. I'm taking this moment because what you're saying to Vi is something that maybe a lot of you don't know, but it's the passion of what she does.
Yes.
I never had to have Vi tell me that I was doing a good job for her because the passion was all over her. When she looked at me working for her, I knew that I was doing what she wanted because that's important when someone is your leader or someone's your boss. What they feel is what comes to you and betters you and makes you do your best. So I'm testimonying here today for Vi. I love when people acknowledge you because I do as much as I can. You've been great. You continue to encourage so many young people. God bless you.
Bless you, Vi.
All that you do.
Vi?
Yes.
Just something brief.
Let our Vi say something.
Well, thank you so much. I know that the time is short, and I want to say a special thank you for the 10 years that you spent all over the United States, Europe, and Japan with Mama, I Want to Sing. Thank you, Hazel.
Hello,
Smith.
everybody.
And thank everyone on this panel. I've been so inspired by everything I heard you say. This is so important, creating community, giving back. We know the children are our future. We must take care of them and direct them. And thank you to my brother G. Keith Alexander. And to you are so courageous and such a representative of WBLS, the work and the music for years and years and years. Bob Lee, we love you.
Yes, indeed.
Get it up for Bob, man.
Give it up for Bob Lee, Dr.
Yes,
Bob
Bob.
Lee.
We appreciate you.
Thank you
Hello,
so much.
my name is Miss Tweet. I am with Rough Riders to the Rescue. I would like to piggyback off what she said and also the young lady. What we do as Rough Riders to the Rescue, we come out and we help our young youth. We walk in the street, we don't know who we're coming against, what attitudes they have, but we come with a humble heart, with love. And if you don't have love in your heart and you're not humble and passionate about what you're doing, it doesn't work. And we've come across children that are going through so much. They don't understand, they're into this phone, they don't know how to communicate. And we're coming out every day and putting our lives on the line. So I want to thank WA for giving us the opportunity to come out here and to give back to our young youth. Thank you, Wa. We appreciate you.
We love you, Wa.
And also,
And
I would
thank
like
you,
to say,
too.
you're welcome. Also, I would like to give you our anthem, if you don't mind. Rough Riders!
You know.
Rough Riders!
You know.
Thank you.
All right. Go ahead, Bob. You can close it out.
Well, we want to thank Joaquin and Joaquin Dean, all of our panelists. Give them a big round of applause while I hit their names. Bev Smith, Lou Sierra, Kerry Singleton, thank you guys so much for letting us know what's going on in the culture. I want to thank all of you for attending too. Thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. And always remember this, what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. May God put a hedge of protection around you and the family, give you everything that you need to move forward and everything that you want to do. And I'll catch you another day, another way. We love you. And we got the live stream going. Thank you guys for tuning in and checking it out too. We love you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you on the 17th.
Lyric.
African American, the 54th African American Day Parade.
Shout
Love
out
you
to
all.
Lyric, man.
Love you all. Peace.
Oh, that was cool.
I want to thank all of you. Okay. We're everywhere.